Hello everyone, welcome back to the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. Here we discuss everything as it pertains to the British royals when it has to do with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, of course. Now, some things have happened today, so we're going to try to get into it real quick. However, I have done some things today that I want to share with you. One is I have created a blog and made that live, and I'll be posting to that blog once a month. You can find that blog and follow it in a feed, or you can check back with it on Blogspot, which is Blogger, and it's imdou.blogspot.com. So it is I am the Duchess of Unicorn, and I have created the sole post to start it off and to kick it all off. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe. You can subscribe to the blog up here, and you'll get notified the same way you would as if you were subscribing to the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. And I have also created, which was a while ago, I created the Instagram page, I am Duchess Unicorn. So it's I am Duchess Unicorn. So if you want to check that out and help me grow there, I'd so appreciate that as well. I have only a few posts, only 10 posts, but I will be creating more interesting posts, and it will definitely be somewhere you'd want to stop in. So connect with me there. I would love to see you there. All right, and now let's go ahead and get to the point of today's video. We're at almost 2 minutes now. So Meghan had finally uploaded a speech that was a little bit emotional, but you can never tell if she's really still exercising her acting muscles. I can never really for sure tell. So keep that, and I do that with a grain of salt. I keep it in the back of my head, and I try to look and lead with my heart. However, I do have some things that I want to point out about the video, and hopefully you won't want to throw a shoe at me or to cuss me out in the comments. But if you agree with me, or if you have a civil way to say that you disagree with me, go ahead and share that in the comments. I welcome that, and I'd love to read that. The full disclaimer for this video is in the description below. As you know, this is entertainment, folks. Today, it's going to be, educational, because we're going to hear Meghan her little speech, her virtual speech, and that speech was given to her alma mater, her old high school, the graduating class. And I know that it's part of, a Duchess thing to do, but let's face it, she's no longer an active or acting Duchess. She is like permanently on vacay. So I'm not really sure why she's giving any speeches to any schools about anything, because if all you have to do is tell the graduating class that you have to marry into money to be noteworthy, or that's a way that you can also become noteworthy, then I guess that's what she's trying to do. The other thing is that she's speaking to her, old high school, because I guess that's what we do when we marry into a family that has money and we become elevated. So what message is it sending to young women that all you have to do is just graduate high school, graduate college, and know the right people, hang out on yachts, or whatever else you had to do, and then snag yourself a prince? And this is totally very modern, because it's not even the old-fashioned way of snagging a prince. It's a new old-fashioned way of snagging a prince. And how many eligible princes are there? And there's many more women. So it is kind of 1 in a million happening. However, we didn't leave this up to circumstance, did we, Meghan? We made this happen. We kind of used a little bit of happenstance, a little bit of destiny, and a little bit of magic, and we got ourselves into a royal family. But what we did is we see her in a royal family that really doesn't truly accept her And I think that's what's part of this speech. I can feel radiating from her. And also part of the world. Many people don't accept her, and she pretends that that doesn't bother her. But it would have to make anyone's day just a little bit grumpy. And I think with having to wrestle with the whole idea of that would be hard, and still keep, save face. So today we're going to just take a little listen. And I know you've already seen it, but again, I released a video yesterday, and that video went into this very thing that at that time Meghan had not come out with a speech. And I did a video on it saying, articles in the media were saying people, her fans, people who watch for her, or people like me who follow her to see what she's saying and what she's doing, what she's acting out in the world, we're wondering, well, where's this great humanitarian? Here's that video right here. Are you waiting on Meghan? So that was uploaded yesterday, 21 hours ago. So it's kind of spoke yesterday about how nobody has heard from her, and she's such a great humanitarian. And so today Meghan came out with her speech, and it just happened to go to the kids that are graduating in her alma mater, high school. And let's listen to some of this. I won't play the whole thing. You've seen it already, and I just want to share my thoughts on it as I wrap the video up. But let's listen.
I wanted to say the right thing, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't, or that it would get picked apart. And I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing. Because George Floyd's life mattered, and Breonna Taylor's life mattered, and Philando Castile's life mattered, and Tamir Rice's life mattered. And so did so many other people whose names we know and whose names we do not know. Stephon Clark, his life mattered. And I was thinking about this moment when I was a sophomore in high school. I was 15, and as you know, sophomore year is the year that we do volunteer work, which is a prerequisite for graduating. And I remember my teacher at the time, one of my teachers, Miss Kalia, said to me before I was leaving for a day of volunteering, always remember to put others' needs above your own fears. And that has stuck with me my entire life, and I've thought about it more in the last week than ever before.
Okay, so I wanted to share that bit with you, and I want to just give you a few points I want to make that might not jibe with the whole world, and certainly might not even jibe with viewers, but have some compassion. I'm actually having compassion for Meghan, because here's a couple of things. I sincerely watched this with an open heart, and I feel like she is really speaking from a very torn, jagged place. Now, we know what we have learned through research and through media outlets that Meghan has shared in the TIG and other interviews, that she felt, that her mother, when she was young, people didn't think that it was her mother because she is a different shade, and her mother is fully black, a black woman, an American black woman, and here's this very light child, and for some reason they thought she was the help, which I think is kind of a racist thing to say, but anyway, it could be very true. And Meghan was impacted because she witnessed her mother being called the N-word, and that has very much impacted her. And I think when I watch this video, I really feel that that is where she's coming, a place where she's coming out from, and it still stings. And I think that in my opinion, has a lot to do with why she doesn't want to affiliate. I mean, who would want to affiliate with anything that leaves a negative taste or feeling within you? Who wants to associate yourself with that? Most people wouldn't. And so if she has a bad feeling or a bad memory, and it's contained to something racially incited, she's not going to want to be thinking from a place where it's okay to be brown, and it's beautiful. Brown skin is beautiful. Brown skin girl, skin is like pearls, right? So that's Beyonce's daughter sings that song with her from Lion King. But in any event, it's okay to be brown skinned, right? But we see that Meghan wants to distance herself, and we see that many people tell me that on her resume, her acting resume, her background, she put that she's a Caucasian. And I think if that's true, I haven't seen that verbatim, but if it's true, I think that she would do that to get hired. You would do anything. And that's the thing about Hollywood is we don't really know how far you need to go to just get that part, or who you have to know, or what favor has to be cashed in, or who becomes your fake friend for the time that they do, and you need to pay them back for that favor that they did when they were your fake friend, Serena Williams, so to speak. It's just my opinion, but I really feel like it's a very lonely place. And when I look at Meghan in this video, I feel that it is a very lonely place. And it's not because she's at the top, but it doesn't mean that she's at the bottom. It just means that I see someone who yearns for something and has not attained it. I mean, I really feel like she really found out that being in the monarchy is not the shit that she wants to do. It's not the stuff that she really wanted to have in her life. It probably is super negative because it probably means a lot of pressure. Okay, so she knew what she was doing and such on and so forth. And back to the racial thing. What we see here, and if you can open your heart and feel what she's saying, and listen to where she's coming from, I think the sting and the pain is personal, and she's reflecting that out. More, I think, reflective of her own personal pain and how she empathizes with the people that have been wronged by police brutality, or by people turning the other cheek, or just by plain old-fashioned racism out in the street. Didn't expect it. It happened. Never mind at the hands of a police or a figure of authority or protection in our communities. So it's wrong on so many levels, and so we get that. Here's the other thing that I noticed is Meghan. She was speaking to her old high school, and that's great because it's a virtual thing, but she's not the Duchess of Sussex anymore. And first of all, you're in the United States, so why then are they having her speak? Because she's so accomplished after being on a sexual drama show called Suits, and it wasn't out of Hollywood, but she comes out of that kind of Hollywood background. And so what she's sending the message to the girls is that, see, all you have to do is just go to school, even if you don't go to school, but if you go to school, finish, get out, you can actually, you never know, you can meet a guy and he could be a prince, you can marry into his family, and you too could be giving a speech to your old high school and the girls there graduating, and showing them that all the things you accomplished. Because honestly, what are we speaking about when we're not speaking about the thing is that she accomplished marrying into money? And so we won't even talk about all the other things that are not going her way because of that, but we'll just talk about that. And then I also noticed that she seems to be always speaking to the very, very young. Now, they're the next up and coming voting group of demographics, and women are her niche PR thing, helping other women. And so helping young women, so again, women under 20 years old, she seems to be focusing on. And I know it's just a speech, but if you look at, she could have gave a speech at a college. Would they not have her? It would be the same message. Maybe that's not the message college students want to hear. Like, oh, you can go all the way through school, 4 years of school, get your bachelor's, come out, be an intern somewhere, and then if you get in the yachts, and if you become like a call girl, or if you become like a yacht girl, or if you become like an escort of some type, without saying that word, and you meet the right guy, you too, Catherine McPhee, can also become something of, an elevated status. Although we know that Catherine McPhee was a singer, performer, and entertainer, so American Idol is her big break. But again, we see that Meghan's big break was Suits. And I guess all you have to do is be on a sexual oriented drama on a cable network, and you can be there for 5 to 7 years, and you can now become a duchess of a country. All right, people, I want to leave it at that. And I hope you got a chance to watch the video. I did, for what I just said, put it aside for a minute, I did feel that she was speaking from a place of personal pain, but who could not? And I also just think that with all the racism that she talks about, that she endured or witnessed her mother enduring, which is kind of the same thing, has left her pretty scarred. And I think it's a touchy, personally volatile subject, and it is for a lot of us. I also understand racism, and believe it or not, many biracial people still succumb to the same thing. If Meghan, that they are not going to be nice or kind to her, so black is black is black. I don't care how many drops or how light your tone or dark your tone, it's all the same. Blood cannot be removed and be replaced with something totally new. You are what you are. All right, that's all I have for today. But I will leave the link to this video. I'm sure you've seen it before, but I'll leave it in the description box, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And I wanted to point out one more thing before I go. I wanted to point out that she did go on in this video to speak about a teacher who told her something. And I want to let you know what she said. She said, the teacher told her to always remember to put others' needs above your own fears. I want to leave you with that one, because that's something Meghan said she carried through her life, that her teacher told her that when she was 15. And I want to say that, did she put others' needs before her own fears in her own life? This whole marrying into the monarchy, Prince Harry, snagging Prince Harry, all the necessity, all the energy that it took to do this. And now, has she really can she look herself in the mirror and say that she's always remembered to put others' needs above her own fears? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.